All right, everybody, I'm Eric with Eric's Excursions. Today I'm in Fort Meade, Florida, and I thought I'd start here first just to check out the actual location of where Fort Meade was located. This is really interesting. Come join me. So this area, which is now a playground and just a city park, was the actual location of Fort Meade. Thought that was pretty cool that they know the actual place where this fort was. Built by Lieutenant George G. Meade, who later became commanding general of the Union forces during the Civil War, headquarters of a military area during the Seminole Indian War, which was from 1849 to 1858. And near this spot, close by here, several engagements with the Seminoles. And this was this location, garrisoned by the United States Army and Florida Mounted Volunteer Troops. Class of 1953, Fort Meade High School. So today is December 12th, 2025, and it's just a beautiful day. So it was a great day to come out over here, and it's not really that far away from where I live. It only took me about 30 minutes to get here. Never been here, and so I thought I'm gonna go check this out. There's quite a bit of history in this area, and the actual ground I'm walking on, which is really wild for me to think, is where the fort was actually located. So can you imagine? Almost 200 years ago, this was a fort. And if you go back in my videos, if you go to my channel and you'll take a look, and you'll see I've done some other videos on forts, and you can see what it looks like. I went to, if you check out Fort Langhorne, that was a pretty good example of what a frontier fort would look like, so that'll give you an idea. But I think it'd be so cool if you could come out here and do some archaeological digs, or at least get a metal detector. I'm sure you'd find so much stuff, but of course I'm sure you're not allowed to do that. But I can only imagine how much stuff is below my feet, beneath me right now, and I'm sure there's probably all kind of artifacts, probably even some buried soldiers, Indians, who knows. But a lot happened here 200 years ago. Here, rooster in the background. Yeah, we're kind of out in the country. It's a really nice park though. If you live nearby, you can come and have a picnic right here. These tables. I got a grill right here. You could have a picnic right on a historic location. They also have a memorial set up here in memory of Lieutenant General Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson, January 21st, 1824 to May 10th, 1863, commander of the 2nd Corps Army of Northern Virginia, Confederate States of America. He graduated from West Point U.S. Military Academy, 1846, and he was first lieutenant here at Fort Meade with 1st U.S. Artillery from December 1850 through May of 1851. So Stonewall Jackson lived here in this little area, in this fort. That is pretty wild to think about. He later became a professor at Virginia Military Institute. He entered Confederate service in 1861 at the outbreak of the war between the states, acclaimed for his actions at the battles of 1st Manassas, Shenandoah Valley Campaign, 2nd Manassas, Sharpsburg, Fredericksburg, and Chancellorsville. Soldier, educator, Christian, patriot. That is pretty wild. Stonewall Jackson lived in this spot of Fort Meade. All right, you guys, I'm gonna move on to the next historic location over here in Fort Meade. Thanks for joining me on this video. Have a good day.